Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to go over the NFL for Conference Championship Sunday, January 25th, and you can see the opening odds are on the screen, the money line odds: New England Patriots versus Denver Broncos and the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. And the ones that faded out here are the opening odds. We focus on those because we apply any parallels numbers wise to any results we get, whether it's from the odds throughout the week, numerology, or the current odds, and we apply those numbers to what we have here and determine, and we get winning picks from it. But yeah, let's get started with the first game. New England Patriots versus the Denver Broncos. Minus 265 opening for the Patriots, plus 215 for the Broncos, and as you can see, it's called reduction. We reduced them. These are the opening odds you just saw. 2 plus 65 equals 67, 26 plus 5 equals 31, and 2 plus 6 plus 5 equals 13 and that's just how we go about, it's called reduction, excuse me, and that's how we go about these numbers here. Minus 215 for New England, plus 180 for Denver. Currently, those are the current odds, early Sunday morning, a few hours before the game. 3.5 point favorites currently are the Patriots. 3.5 point underdogs are the Broncos. Minus 118, minus 104 for New England to Denver on the cost. The Patriots opened at 5.5 point favorites. 5.5 point favorites at minus 113 cost. 5.5 point underdogs were the Broncos at minus 102 cost. Over under. Let's start with the opening. Over under 40.5, minus 114 going over, minus 106 cost going under. Over under 43.5, minus 104 cost going over, minus 118 going under, with the total there. All right, we're going to go over the expected value before we get into the odds for the week. So let's go over the expected value here. And that is based off the opening and current odds on the money line, that is. Sorry about that. Minus 265. Opening win percentage, 70 percentile. At minus 265. And for the Broncos, it was plus 215. That is 30%. That gives the Broncos a negative $5.50 expected value, and that gives the Patriots a negative $3.58 expected value. Now, the current odds, minus 215 for the Patriots, plus 180 for the Broncos, that gives a 66% win percentage for the Patriots and a 34% win percentage for the Broncos. And that is a negative $3.30 expected value for the Patriots, and that is a negative $4.80 expected value for the Broncos. Now, let's go over the odds from Wednesday. The odds from Wednesday, 1/21, January 21st. It was negative 230 for the Patriots, plus 190 on the money line for the Broncos. 84% betting percentage to 16% betting percentage on Wednesday. 79% money for the Patriots and 21% money for the Broncos. That was Wednesday. Now, the spread from Wednesday, 4.5 point favorites were the Patriots. Now they are 3.5 point favorites. They're closing in on closing that gap a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why. Minus 108 cost going with the Patriots, minus 112 going with the Broncos. 68% betting percentage going with the Patriots, 32% betting percentage going with the Broncos. 59% money percentage going with the Patriots, 41% money percentage going with the Broncos. All right, total over under 42.5, minus 110 cost, both over and under. 59% betting to 41% betting. 58% money to 42% money from Wednesday, January 21st. Now, let's go over the current splits, and we're going to apply that to where the odds are now. As you can see, 80%, we're going to start with the money line here. 80% betting going with the Patriots, 20% betting going with the Broncos. 76% money going with the Patriots and 24% money going with the Broncos. Now, that is significant. Patriots are a significant favorite because the Broncos lost their quarterback. The Broncos lost their quarterback. with a fake injury. Bo Nix had a fake injury. Call a spade a spade. They got him out of there, which is why look out for the Broncos in this one. They could definitely take this game and shock the world. Jarrett Stidham is going to start for the Broncos. We'll see if he finishes, but Jarrett Stidham is going to start for the Broncos today. 67% betting going with the Patriots on the spread, 33% going with the Broncos on the spread currently. Percentage of money on the spread, 58% going with New England, 42% going with Denver. Total, over under, and the total is at currently 43.5, minus 104 cost going over, minus 118 cost going under. 63% going over, 37% going under, 59% money going over, and 41% money going under. And this is where we are in this one. Sorry about that. Got to clear my throat a little bit. All right. Spread, money line, and total. Spread, money line, total. Those picks will be on the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. And very soon, either today or tomorrow, we will be debuting something new on the channel. New year, new energy for the Patreon. And we're going to offer more than just picks. So just keep that in mind. That is coming very soon. And you will be notified of that very soon as well. But yeah, back to the decoding. Minus 230 was at 84%, 79% money. Currently, they're at 80 and 76. 80% betting, 76% money, based off of where this is going. They're high. They're both still high, but the odds significantly dropped for New England. Minus 215 and plus 180 here. With the Patriots still getting a significant amount of the money and the betting on the money line, and they went down from 265 to 230, negative 230 to negative 215 as a favorite. That's why I say look out for the underdog in this game. Broncos could definitely take this game if this plus 180 has held for several hours here. And the odds have not changed much over the last several hours. Like as far as the splits, have not changed much for them. They're still around 24% several hours ago. This was about 19%, so they increased by one there on the betting. Now the money, they went to 24% on the money. All right, with that being said, this plus 180 right here, plus 180 for the Broncos can easily convert if it holds throughout the day. If the odds continue to drop, Broncos are almost guaranteed a victory in this game in the lower direction, basically. I was going to say in the higher negative, but in the lower negative direction. So it'll be minus, let's say it just keeps dropping to minus 205 and the Broncos go to plus 170, 165, 170, something like that. Probably 175, something like that. Maybe 170. Continues to drop like that. Definitely consider going with the Broncos in this one, as it has continued throughout the week. But yeah, that is more than likely what's going to happen in this game. Also, we will have the props, touchdowns and pass yards props today. So just keep that in mind. And don't forget to combine those parlays. You can combine the pass yards parlays to turn into a parlay for both quarterbacks. But just to keep that in mind, easy money there. LA Rams versus Seattle. Plus 131, minus 157 for Seattle. Plus 131 for the Rams, minus 157 for Seattle. 131 has been reduced. 157 has been reduced. The numbers to the right. Currently is plus 118 and minus 138. Now, these numbers have held up literally throughout the week. Because as you can see from Wednesday, the 21st, it was plus 118, minus 138. Now, of course, the splits are a little different. But currently, it is held up consistently throughout the week, the numbers wise. All right, opened 2.5 point favorites. Currently, Seattle's 2.5 point favorites. 2.5 point underdogs are the Rams. Opened at minus 106 cost for the Rams. Currently, they are minus 118. Seattle opened at minus 114 cost, minus 104 going there for Seattle. Currently, total over under 45.5, minus 115 cost going with the over, minus 105 going under. Opened at 47.5 points, minus 110 cost even on the total. Now let's go over the expected value. Then we'll get into the splits and the odds from Wednesday. All right, 41%. 41% win percentage based off the opening odds, plus 131, minus 157 for Seattle. Now, 59% win percentage for Seattle based off of that. That gives them a negative $3.42 expected value. And by the way, speaking of, I didn't go over this. Expected value is the measure of what a bettor can expect to win or lose on each bet placed on the same odds time and time again. The formula is below that right here, and it is based off $100 wagers. Pardon me. All right, negative $5.29 expected value for the Rams based off the plus 131. 44% win percentage for the Rams currently. 56% win percentage for the Seahawks. That is based off the plus 118 and minus 138. Now, that gives the Rams a negative $4.08 expected value, and you rarely see this. This is consistent expected value throughout the week. You rarely see this, but it happened. Seattle is still the same on the expected value from the opening. Negative $3.42 expected value. Same from the opening, consistent. And more times than not, when you have a team that has the same consistent expected value, you will get that team to more than likely take the victory. More than likely. When it happens, it almost always ends up in a victory, especially for a favorite. But yeah, let's scroll down. All right. The splits currently. Then we're going to go over to the odds from Wednesday. The splits from Wednesday and the odds from Wednesday and how they compare to where they are now. 32%, excuse me, on the betting percentage money line for the Rams. That gives the Seahawks 68%. Percentage on money on the money line. 42% for the Rams, 58% for the Seahawks. Spread percentage of bets, 51% for the Rams, 49% for the Seahawks. Percentage of money, 49% for the Rams and 51% for the Seahawks. Over, under on the total. Percentage of betting, 77% going over, 23% on the under. Percentage of money, over 58%, under 42%. All right. Splits from Wednesday. The same odds as they are currently. Plus 118 for the Rams, minus 138. This is from Wednesday, January 21st. 40% betting, 60% betting going with the Seahawks, 40% going with the Rams. 50-50 on the money line. Spread, 2.5 point underdogs for the Rams at minus 114 cost. 2.5 point favorites for the Seahawks at minus 106 cost. 27% betting to 73% betting for the Seahawks. 31% money for the Rams to 69% money for the Seahawks. Over under 46.5. Minus 120 cost going over, minus 102 going under. 80% betting going over, 20% betting going under. 60% money going over, 40% money going under the 46.5%. 46.5 total, excuse me. That's based on minus 120 cost, minus 102 cost going under. Now, currently, 45.5, minus 115, minus 105 cost. Notice that minus 105 is a sweet spot. That is a sweet spot. Hopefully that can maintain. That should be an easy under if that holds up. If not, you might want to look the other direction on that total. But comparison. The odds stayed the same, but the percentages obviously changed. Seattle's now 58% currently on the money line and 68% on the betting. So Seattle went up a decent amount, about 8% each. Yeah, about 8% each. It went up. Current odds in the 49 and 51 for Seattle on the spread has become from Wednesday, 73% betting, 69%. Now, the cost was then minus 106, minus 114 for the Rams. Rams are maintaining a significant advantage since the opening, exception of the opening, a higher cost on the spread. But you have to be careful because none of the numbers they have really hit more so than the opposite. At least not very much. The minus 118s hit more than the 104s, but not a significant amount, about 51.49. So it can't go too much on that. But this minus 106 hit more than the minus 114s. With that being said, the minus 114s actually hit at a higher percentage than the minus 118s do in comparison to the minus 104s and minus 106s. But with Seattle still getting a significant amount on the money line, and the odds haven't changed much at all. They haven't changed much at all. With Stafford still the quarterback for the Rams, and he hasn't really broken through except one time. Seattle, people feel it's their year. They're dominant. They're looking good, so on and so forth. The question is, could this be the day of the dogs? Could the underdogs literally sweep the day in this one on the road? Seattle is at home, but they're not a significant favorite. They haven't really dropped either. So, the odds have remained consistent since Wednesday, even though the odds went up for Seattle. If Seattle were to win this game, this minus 138 will have to increase by somewhere around game time when the odds really get to moving. If they go up to minus 145, minus 150, if they approach at minus 150, guaranteed victory for the Seahawks. Guaranteed victory and guaranteed to take this spread as well. But as it currently stands, the Rams are a threat with that plus 118. With this plus 118, and they have held this position for a long, long, long time. They have held that position. Now, what has fluctuated were the spread. Minus 118, minus 104. Minus 118 for the Rams. If they are to go in and the current cost is to go in and get this minus 118 and maintain that, let's see where it is now. It is still minus 118. Plus 118 on the cost. There is symmetry there, but we're not going to focus on that. That's not a significant thing. If Seahawks can maintain, the Rams that is, can maintain that higher negative on the spread, they look like they could take the money line. And Seattle, the odds are not moving for this game, even though the splits have moved somewhat, about 8% on the money line, that is. If Rams can hold that, they will take this game. If you see it drop down to minus 110, minus 112, minus 108 or lower for the Rams, that is, then go ahead and pick the Seahawks across the board. But as it currently stands, the Rams look like they are a significant threat, considering this minus 138 has not significantly moved throughout the week. But yeah, just considering that. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Pray every day. The props will be on the Patreon. We'll be knowing anytime TD and the pass yards. But we will be introducing something of significant benefit to the channel. And I just want y'all to know that it is coming very soon. But yeah, pray every day. I've been Scott. Take it easy. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. You guys take care.